I get this a lot, maybe not as much as I used to as a reporter, covering climate change and the current drought. And people will say the 1950s drought, like we made it through that, but it's different, right? What's happening now and what was happening in the 1950s, those are different things.
Yeah, the 1950s drought was a serious drought, and there's a lot to learn from it. From the early 1950s through the mid-1960s, there were really a lot of drought years, and that drought was driven and dominated by low precipitation over and over again. But it was a cool drought. The temperatures during the 1950s drought were relatively cool compared to the temperatures that we've seen during the 2000s drought. A lot of the attention that the 1950s was getting and the debate about whether or not the 2000s drought or the 1950s drought was worse, that debate was really strong about 10 years ago. But since 10 years ago, we've continued across the western U.S. to have pretty persistent drought conditions. Now, not everywhere. Here in New Mexico, there have been some pretty wet years in the 2010s. But if you look across the entire western North American region, the 2010s were on average really dry. And so this drought event is now longer than the 1950s drought and substantially more severe across a lot of the West.